Okay, so we continue with our map number 7. You'll need your markers, you'll need your Bible, your Regions on the Run, and your regional study guide. Start with event number 21, Joshua's March, and you're invited to read the regional study guide and begin to get familiar with the different sections. You have reading on pages 26 and 27. You can pause and look at that, as well as the 4,000 year chart. Continue on to page 71, and we're going to begin with our markings of number 1. The first marking is going to be highlighting Jericho, the non-italicized one, which is right there. So the highlighted one is the ancient site of Jericho, and it's where we'll visit if we go to Jericho. Then invite you to highlight wilderness, just the letters. And Benjamin, the whole word right there, okay? Then you're gonna have you highlight on the route, the main north-south route through the hill country from the northern edge of the map by Anathu Borkius. Highlight south by Lebona, and then by Jesha, and then on through Bethel, and continuing to Elasa, then to Mitzpah, to Gibeah, on to Jerusalem, and then continue south to Beth Hakerem, and then south along the route east of the term Judah, west of the site of Etam, and off the map right here. Okay, so you have this central route through the hill country starting up there and going through. Now you're invited to spend some time on a bin map, finding bold names on the map, including Jericho, Bethel, the Zeboim Valley, again Bethel, and Mount Zemaraim, the Central Benjamin Plateau, south of Mitzpah, which is there, Gibeah here, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem. Now you take your highlighter and you'll highlight the canyon names on the eastern side of the map from north to south. And so we're going to start with Auja and Makuk. So let's look for some of these. There's Jaya. Let's see. Hold on. Let's find some of these. Kidron. That's not included. Kidron is. Sorek. Rephaim. Farah, Suanit. Okay, so Zeboim, it's set on the east side of the map, so I'm over here looking. Okay, here's the Auja one. All right, north to south it says. And then the Makuk is right here. and then the Kelt. Where would that be? There's Kelt Canyon right there. We actually stop at the Wadi Kelt. The Mukhalik Canyon. The Kidron Canyon. The Suwainit Canyon. And the Farah Canyon to the west of the Kelt. Then it has an option for you to trace the canyons with a blue pencil. We're not going to do that, but you're welcome to. And then we are going to highlight the routes. So if you turn on to page 72, and we'll start here at what's called Byzantine Jericho, which is italicized. You're going to highlight northwest past the non-italicized Jericho and Nahran. Okay. Now continue up the hill country past Ophrah. Okay. To the Central Ridge Route, which we've already highlighted. Okay. Number B, or letter B, from Byzantine Jericho, again the italicized one, west past the italicized Jericho, and then up through the Zeboim Valley to Deir. Let's see. West past the italicized Jericho, the Zeboim Valley, okay, past Deir Dibwan, which is there, to Bethel, okay? Then we're going to find the lookout, which is on the road we were just going, right here. It's about halfway through. And highlight the fork just above lookout toward Michmash, okay? From Michmash south, cross a portion of the Suwait Canyon and highlight past Geba and Ramah to the central ridge route. Then from the italicized Jericho, highlight southwest between Thrix and Cyprus, past Mar Gerius, which is the monastery there, and Adumim. At the fork of the Adumim ascent, highlight both routes to the Central Ridge route. So there's one going down south and one going north to the west. Now highlight the names of Ai and Bethel. So Bethel is here. We've been here a couple times now. And Ai is very nearby. Again, we have the discussion on the map where we encourage you to pause and read through that. And then take some time and read Joshua 7:1-5. Continue to read page 73, looking at some of the places where we've already highlighted. Page 74, I invite you to read Joshua 8. It says, Joshua's remarkable campaign described above could provide the basis for the detailed markings on the Ben map. Since there are varying opinions as to the location of sites and battles, markings related to this campaign are omitted. Students and teachers can follow their own interpretations, but it may be best to delay marking the campaign of Ai until the end of the chapter to avoid overlapping other markers. Markings below reflect events after the campaign at Ai and should be completed on the Ben map. All right, so we're going to begin by highlighting the Central Benjamin Plateau, which is just to the west of the ridge route. We're going to highlight the name Gilgal near Jericho. Let's see, there are 2 Gilgals. So here's one Gilgal, right? And put a solid green box around the city dot. Okay. Highlight the city name of Gilgal, modern Gilgilia, southwest of Shiloh. And the top center of the map, there's Shiloh and Gilgal. It says there's right here. Okay, so southwest of Shiloh. In small black caps, which I've lost my nice pen, in small black caps, right in around the green box at Gilgal, this one, Joshua's camp. Okay. Now we're going to use our orange to do dots on all of the Gibeonite sites on and around the central Benjamin Plateau. So we have Gibeon, we have Shapira, we have Kiriath Jearim, we have Beeroth, okay, although another plausible one puts it southwest of Bethel. There's one right there, but we're not going to mark that one. And then we're going to highlight the city name of Jerusalem. There's optional discussion on the BEN map, so I encourage you to read that, and then optional reading of Joshua 9, 3 through 7, plus the discussion of the Ben map, including looking at locations of the central Benjamin Plateau, Jerusalem, Gibeon, Mitzpah, Ramah, Bethel, Michmash, Ajalon Valley, Joppa. Read Joshua 10 verses 1 through 5. And then it has discussion on the SCA map and JUD map, which you're invited to pull out to just identify the locations of this to give you the context. But then our markings are going to be on the BEN map. So we start with marking number 14, which says highlight coastal plain. Highlight Shephelah lowlands. Highlight Ajalon Valley. Highlight Sorek Valley. Highlight Elah Valley. Again, coastal plain, Shephelah, Ajalon, Sorek, and Elah. Should be familiar with these from our previous maps. Then number 15, we're going to highlight the Chesalon, Sorek, and Rephaim canyons. So Rephaim Canyon is down here, and the Sorek Canyon is here, just to its northwest, and the Chesalon Canyon is just there to its northwest. Now you have option to trace the canyon in the light blue pencil. We're not going to take that option. We're going to continue on with number 17, which is highlighting the routes. So we're going to first start with highlighting the main branch of the coastal highway via Ono and Afek. north off the map to Galilee. An inland branch of the coastal highway from Aphek, south of Lod, to Gibbethon, to Ekron, to Gath, and off of the southwest corner by the 120. So all the way down here. Then we're going to begin at the crossroads just west of Ramah. We're going to highlight west across the central Benjamin Plateau, and then northwest to the ridge route, to Upper Beth Horon, Lower Beth Horon, and on to Lod, and then off the map to Joppa. And then in Lower Beth Horon, the shortest route to Gezer. Okay. And then west off the map. A lot of yellow on here. We're going to continue on page 76 with highlight number E, letter E. You're going to start at Lower Beth Horon, go southwest past Kafar Lakitaya, then on to Aijalon, Eshtaol, Beth Shemesh, and south off the map, passing just east of Azekah and south off the edge of the map. Then south of Eshtaol, highlight past Zanoah and off the map. Then at the intersection by Gibeon, highlight past Gibeon and Bidu to Kiriath Jearim, bend northwest to Aijalon, and then to the intersection north of Emmaus. Finally, letter H, begin at Lod, highlight southeast through Rabbah, and then east to the ridge route ascending to Kiriath Jearim. Invite you now to continue on page 76 doing the discussion on the BEN map, and then we'll continue with number 18. Highlight the city names of Gibeon and Jarmuth, just between the Sorek and the Elah valleys. Oh, Sorek Valley and Elah Valley. There we go. Right here. Make sure you can see that here. Okay. Now you're going to do a blue circle around Jarmuth and Jerusalem. Write in with a black pen and circle each name with blue. In the bottom margin of the map, at the 165 grid marker, write Hebron. And circle it in blue. And then at the bottom of the marker, at the 145 marker, write Lachish and Eglon. And circle in blue. Then sweeping blue arrows from the circled in Hebron north along the Central Ridge route between Beit Jala, and Bethlehem. And continuing to Jerusalem. From Yarmouth east by Timnah and Husha, between Bet and Beth, to join that arrow. And you're going to write coalition against Gibeon. Then from the blue circled right end of Eklon and Lachish, east through the Elah Valley to join the blue sweeping arrow. Okay. And that's page 76. And then continue on 77, from Jerusalem via Gibeah and Adassa to Gibeon. Gibeah, Adassa to Gibeon. Red circle around the city name of Gibeon. Continue on the discussion there. Push pause. When you're ready, we'll go on to number 23. Highlight the names of Upper Beth Horon and Azekah, which is Upper Beth Horon is here, Azekah's way down here. And then green arrows from the word plateau and Ramah to the hill just east of Gibeon. Okay. Joshua either marched from Gilgal by Jericho or by Gilgal in the hills of Shiloh, locations discussed above. What's important for this is marking that Joshua attacked at daybreak, having marched all night. That meant for Joshua's forces could remain hidden below low hills east or southwest of Gibeon and catch the coalition forces off guard. The natural location for the coalition's camp was in the semi-sheltered valley east of Gibeon itself, although it could have also been on a rise just north of the city. The conditions offered no chance for the coalition to retreat to Jerusalem. So then we're going to do blue flight and green chase arrows from Gibeon to Beth Horon, upper and lower. So I'm going to do flight, 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 and green chase, chase, chase. And then from south of Aijalon south to Aijalon. Okay, so we'll do another, and then the two chase arrows. And then south along the route to Azekah, passing east of Azekah. All right, so we'll do blue again. And then the chase ones. All right. That's number 25, and then the letter C, write Amorite flight before Joshua. All right, then there's some additional discussion. Reading of Joshua 10, 6 through 15. Some optional discussion there. And then we have finished number 22. All right, so we continue. It's on page 79. And you're invited to We start on 78 with event 22, Jonathan's Faith. Seek and destroy divisions. Seek and destroy is a Metallica song. Seek and destroy divisions went out from Philistine camp towards Ophrah, Beth Horon, Valley of Zeboim. So feel free to read that, the discussion, start finding these names, Sorek, Aphek, Mitzpah. Then on page 79, if you continue to read, and then read 1 Samuel 13, verses 1 through 4, and then we're going to continue with our work on the map. We're going to highlight the names of Gibeah, Geba, and Michmash. Okay, so I've got a Geba right here. I've got Gibeah right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Forget that Geba. Sorry, Geba. This Geba's right here. So look where the word Benjamin is. Gibeah south of it. Geba is to the northeast, and Michmash is to the northeast of that. You're going to highlight pass 1 Samuel 14:4 between Geba and Samuel right there. Between Geba and Michmash. This region along the Suwanit Canyon is much easier to cross than the areas farther up north or down the canyon. There are ways to cross the path. Two main routes are shown on the bin map. One via the Tel Mariam, perhaps Beth Aven, and one via Geba. The pass of Michmash refers to this entire area, where the canyon is more easily crossed and ends due south of Michmash after it bends sharply to the south. From here to the southeast, it is difficult to scale the canyon walls. So we're going to highlight pass south of Rimmon. I see Rimmon. Here we go. Okay, so pass. The Rimmon is here. Pass. Highlight the word pass. So it's crossing the canyon here. Easiest point to cross, the Makuk Canyon becomes deeper to the west. To the east, it cuts a deep serpentine path through limestone before entering chalk wilderness. This is going to continue to talk about this. And then you're invited to read the discussion here, find the names, read 1 Samuel 13, 5 through 7, find these names on the bin map, continue, page 81. The reading is 1 Samuel 13, 8 through 15, and Joshua 1, 8 through 9, and we're going to start with marking number 4. We're going to do a blue box around the city dot of Michmash and write Philistine camp in small black caps just above the name Michmash. Then we're going to highlight the names Ophrah, which is north of Rimmon, so right here, Ophrah. I'm going to highlight Zeboim Valley and Upper Beth Horon, which is already highlighted there. And then the Zeboim Valley. Well, here's the valley right there. Okay? Very good. Now, These blue sweeping arrows are movements of the 3 Philistine divisions in order to cross the area's routes. So from Michmash north via the pass, across the Makuk Canyon to Ophrah. From Michmash west via the pass, across the Suet Canyon by Beth Aven toward the named Central Benjamin Plateau. From Michmash east toward the Lookout, I encourage you to read the discussion. Page 81, read 1 Samuel 13, 15 through 23. And then the discussion there at the bottom of 81, continuing on to 82. And then we'll pick up our marking with number 8. Blue dot on the ridge southeast of Michmash, as per locating instructions above. Just east of the let's see, the Philistine outpost watching the pass of Michmash served as an early warning system for the main camp at Michmash. Had this outpost been positioned deep within the pass itself, it would have been little military value and easily could have been bypassed or even attacked. The most suitable position for such an outpost was along the lofty ridge southeast of Michmash, which forces the deep Suwanit Canyon to turn sharply to the south. The top of the ridge is due east of where the Geba-Michmash Road crosses the bottom of the Suet Canyon. Find the top of this ridge on the bin map. It is a narrow, light strip above the steep slope, descending into the Suwanit Canyon, just east of the U of Suwanit. So we're going to go right here. Okay. Now you're going to write outpost to the right of the blue dot. Then optional, you can see the way it's monitoring. We'll skip the optional. We'll go to number 11, a curved orange arrow from the 661 meter elevation mark toward the outpost. And in small black caps below that elevation, write Jonathan. I invite you to continue to read on page 82, the discussion. Continue on to page 83. And then once you've finished, unpause. We'll continue with the markings on the bin map, number 13. We're going to do 2 sets of blue flight and orange chase arrows. One from the Central Benjamin Plateau to Lower Beth Horon, north of the Beth Horon route. So we'll do blue flight. And orange chase. And then from Lower Beth Horon going south toward Aijalon. And small black caps on anywhere on these lines. Philistines, flight before Saul and Jonathan. All right, continue your reading at the bottom of page 83 with 1 Samuel 31 through 46. And then read all of page 84. Continue on page 85. And then there is an optional discussion which continues on, and then we will hit event number 23. Now we pick up with event 23. We are going to be looking at the JUD map. So if you hadn't had enough of that one, we're back at it again. So read page 86. You'll find some bold names on the map as part of the discussion, including Hebron, and then Debir, which we're right here, and then the upper source and lower source right there. Now we're going to do this optional marking on the JUD map. First off, we're going to highlight the city names of Hebron and Debir. So here's Hebron, and here is Debir. We're going to do a red circle on the city dot of Debir. We're going to do a sweeping green arrow from Hebron toward Debir. We're going to write in small black caps, Calebites. And near Debir, we're going to write Josh 15:13 through 19. And then we're going to highlight upper and lower sources. There we go. Now, it has us now take the SCA map to look at these names. I'm not going to do that right now, but encourage you to read the discussion. Turn to page 88. Then we have additional mapping on the JUD. It says, after you've completed this marking, compare the position of Jerusalem with that of Hebron by noting the cities on the SCA, JUD, and BEN maps. So we're going to start by, I'm going to go up to the top part of the map here. And we're going to start by highlighting Jerusalem. We're going to put a green dot around the city box, already done. And then besides Hebron, beside Jerusalem, we're going to write 2 Sam 5. And Hebron, you cannot see. You're going to write 2 Sam 2. And the reading is 1 Samuel 5, 1 through 10. The discussion is as follows. Continue to look at all the different valleys that are there. And then we're going to mark on the JUD map, starting by highlighting the Rephaim Valley. The Rephaim Canyon is here, so the Rephaim Valley is right there. I'm going to highlight that. We're going to highlight Gibeon. Gibeon. Should already be underlined in red from earlier. And then Gezer. All the way over here. It's got a underline and a green triangle. So then you're going to do a sweeping blue arrow from the area of Bethlethepha to the valley of Rephaim via Bether and Baal Perazim. Baal Perazim is there and Bether is there. It's a blue sweeping arrow parallel to the one we drew earlier. So now small black caps along that line. Philistine advance. To Sam 5:17 through 25. Okay. Then a green circular sweeping arrow from En Rogel south by Jerusalem right there. It's right underneath it. En Rogel. Around the name Kidron Canyon. Then west at 609 meters to Bethlehem, and then north to Ramat Rahel. Okay, so we go from this to this to this to this to this. It's a circle. All right. Write in small black caps along the green arrow, David's maneuver. And then it's 2 Sam 5:23. Now, red confrontation mark on the central ridge route north of the dot of Ra. So it's right here. So and then a series of blue flight, green chase arrows from we're going to go from the Rephaim Valley north by Jerusalem to Gibeon, upper, lower, Horon, Shalbim, and Gezer. All right, so we're really moving all over the place. So we're going to start, I'm going to do it this way. So it's a blue flight. So we're going to go here, 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 and here. All right. And then these are green chase. Boy, it's getting crowded on here. Okay, now then small black caps along these flight arrows. David pursues Philistines. I'm going to put him up here. David pursues Philistines. And 2 Samuel 5:17 through 25, and then the conclusions that are made there. All right, that's the end of event 23. So we are now going to go back to the BEN map, the Ben map, okay? And we're going to pick it up on event 24. Jerusalem's access. Baasha, king of Israel. Encourage you to read the bottom of page 90. Go on to 91. Read the entirety of 91. And then when you're ready, we will start at the top of 92 with our highlighting. First off, we're going to highlight Mount Zeraim. Go to Bethel, it's right there. And then we're going to put a red dot on the city dots of Bethel and Jeshanah and Ophrah. These are the cities taken by Abijah. Then green sweeping arrows, one from Bethel to Jeshanah. Draw the thing east of the route. And one branching off from the Bethel Jeshanah arrow towards Ophrah. And write in small black caps along the second arrow, around a small circle around 1. 1 Abijah. And that's 2 Chronicles 13. Okay. The reading is 2 Chronicles 13. And continue to read that section with the discussion, and we're going to continue with the highlighting at number 5. All right. We're going to highlight, starting with Aphek, way up here, and Gibbethon, down here. Red circle around the name Gibbethon. Small black caps by Gibbethon, Baasha's coup. Sweeping arrows from Aphek along the coastal highway to Gibbethon. Small black caps, Israel's attempt to outflank Judah. Continue on the discussion on page 92, and then we'll pick back up at number 10. Sweeping orange arrow from the area of Jeshanah towards Ramah. From west of the route and continuing east of the route. So it's like, okay, I see. So like this. Here we go. Orange triangle around the city dot Ramah. That's Baasha's fortification. And we'll continue on to page 93. Small black caps on the arrow with a small circle around Baasha. We're going to do number 2. Baasha. And it's 1 Kings 15, 16, and 17. All right. Small green triangle on the city dot of Mitzpah and Geba. All right. I do really well and then I lose it. Gibeah, Jerusalem, Geba. So Geba is here, so we're going to do a small green triangle. And then Mitzpah, not Michmash. There it is, Mitzpah, right here on the central ridge route. And in small black caps below Mitzpah, with a small circle around 3, write Asa. Asa, and it's 1 Kings 15:22. All right, continue to read 1 Kings 15:16-22. It says it's one of the most densely packed geopolitical passages in the Bible. Continue through the conclusion on 93. And then we're going, it's a long overview from Nebi Samuel. We are going to go to Nebi Samuel, so this will be a place that'll be interesting to look at. Tomb of the Prophet Samuel. We're talking, it's on the ridge route. There we go, right here. So south of there, and then, so it's gonna walk you through so you can see which direction everything's gonna be, and we'll spend some time there at Nebi Samuel looking over Gibeon, telling a story there, telling a story about what was happening at Bethel and Ai. So read 94, continue to read 95, west looking towards the Shephelah, then north looking toward the Benjamin Plateau and regions of Mount Zemaraim. Then it's going to tell more about the central Benjamin Plateau throughout history. On 96, on 97, it continues throughout the time of Rome. 98, 99. And then, beginning on page 100, you have an appendix, which I will let you look at. Congratulations, I believe you have finished all of the mapping. Thanks be to God. Amen.